Poison Ivy, Pamela Lillian Isley, is a fictional character appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics, commonly in Batman stories. She was created by Robert Kanigher and Carmine Infantino, and first appeared in Batman number 181, June 1966. Uma Thurman portrayed the character in Batman and Robin. Clare Foley, Maggie Geha, and Peyton List played her in Gotham, while Bridget Regan portrayed her in the third season of the Arrowverse series Batwoman, and Lake Bell in Harley Quinn. Dr. Pamela Lillian Isley is a promising botanist who is persuaded by Marc LeGrand into assisting him with the theft of an Egyptian artifact containing ancient herbs. Fearing she would implicate him in the theft, he attempts to poison her with the herbs, which are deadly and untraceable. She survives this murder attempt and discovers she has acquired an immunity to all natural toxins and diseases. She begins her criminal career by threatening to release her suffocating spores into the air unless the city meets her demands. Batman thwarts her scheme, and she is incarcerated in Arkham Asylum. From this point on, she has a kind of obsession with Batman, him being the only person she could not control due to his strong will and focus. Over the years, she develops plant-like superpowers, the most noticeable being a lethal toxin in her lips. She is literally able to kill with a kiss. While in Arkham, Poison Ivy receives a message through flowers that someone is to help her escape. That night, two women, Holly and Eva, successfully break Ivy out and bring her back to their employer. She is less than happy to discover that it is the Floronic Man, formerly known as Dr. Jason Woodrue, her former college professor that conducted the experiments on her. The only human portion of him remaining is his head, while the rest of his body is plant-based. After striking a deal with him in the tunnels of Gotham, Ivy receives a trunk full of money in return for samples of her DNA. Woodrue intends to combine their DNA to create a child, all while flooding the streets of Gotham with high-grade marijuana. The purpose of this is to create a world economy run on hemp and to have their offspring control it. Batman intervenes, but is overcome by Woodrue's henchwomen, Holly and Eva. However, Ivy turns on Floronic Man and lets Batman go to fight the intoxicated maniac. In the end, Batman decapitates the Floronic Man, and Ivy escapes with her money. When Gotham City is destroyed in an earthquake and declared no man's land, she holds dominion over Robinson Park and turns it into a tropical paradise rather than fight over territory like most of Batman's enemies. 16 children who are orphaned during the quake come to live with her as she sympathizes with them, having suffered a traumatic childhood herself. She cares for them like sons and daughters, despite her usual misanthropy. That winter, Clayface, Basil Carlo, pays Ivy a visit, hoping to form a bargain with her. This would entail her growing fruits and vegetables, having the orphans harvest them, and him selling the produce to the highest bidder. She wants nothing to do with the plan, and she attempts to kill him with a kiss. Clayface overpowers her, however, and imprisons Ivy and the orphans for 6 months in a chamber under the park's lake. He feeds her salt and keeps her from the sun to weaken her. We need your support by subscribing and liking and sharing the video to continue producing your favorite content. Eventually, Batman comes and discovers the imprisoned orphans and Ivy. The two agree to work together to take Carlo down. Batman battles Clayface and instructs Robin to blow up the lake bed above, allowing the rushing water to break apart the mud, effectively freeing Ivy. She fights Carlo, ensnaring him in the branches of a tree and fatally kissing him. She then proceeds to sink him down into the ground, where he becomes fertilizer for Ivy's plants. Later on, she is manipulated by the Riddler and Hush. Her task is to hypnotize both Superman and Catwoman to steal ransom money from Bane. However, she abandons Catwoman to be killed by Killer Croc, and Batman is able to keep Superman busy in a fight. Soon afterwards, the Riddler, who is being chased and attacked by Hush, approaches Ivy and seeks her protection. Ivy, who is angered by the manipulation, battles the Riddler. Batman discovers that Ivy has been feeding people, including tiresome lovers, incompetent henchmen, and those who returned her smile, to a giant plant which would digest the victims slowly and painfully. She refers to these murders as a guilty pleasure. In an unprecedented event, her victims' souls merge with the plant, creating a botanical monster called Harvest, who seeks revenge upon Poison Ivy. With the intervention of Batman, however, she is saved. Ivy finds Harley Quinn, who had almost been murdered by the Joker, and nurses her back to health. She is coerced by a new Black Mask into joining his group of villains that aims to take over Gotham. She and Killer Croc unsuccessfully attempt to murder Damian Wayne. Shortly after, she escapes from Black Mosque's control and forms an alliance with Catwoman and Harley Quinn. Poison Ivy is recruited into the covert ops group known as the Birds of Prey. Though she is specifically handpicked by the team's leader, Black Canary, the other members of the group protest Ivy's inclusion, citing her violent past and connections to various murders. These suspicions are proven correct when Ivy poisons the team and forces them to attack corrupt companies she wants to destroy, until Katana apparently kills her. Ivy survives the injuries and returns to Gotham, breaking out Clayface, Basil Carlo to manipulate him into becoming her husband. Batman intervenes to help her, mainly because the locations she attacked were the Penguin's properties. Poison Ivy ends up captured by Penguin's men. She is buried alive by them, but survives long enough to be rescued by Penguin's right-hand man Emperor Penguin, who has taken over his boss's businesses after the Joker's return. We need your support by subscribing and liking and sharing the video to continue producing your favorite content.